Hi everyone, it's Shar. Welcome back to my channel and welcome to another speed build. Has my channel turned into a speed build channel? Apparently, because I've just been super inspired to build for my save file. If you have seen some of my previous build videos, you will have heard that I have been very intentional about how I want my save file to look and like what the lots are available and how the worlds are going to be structured, and something that I really want to make sure I have in as many worlds as possible. Some of those smaller worlds like Forgotten Hollow or Magnolia Promenade, obviously I won't be able to do this, but as I've mentioned before, I want to make sure I have a public community lot, rental properties, homes that of course are filled with families, homes that are fully furnished, and homes that are like this one where the entire home is complete but there is no furniture in the house. It is just like if you were to buy a house in real life. It probably isn't coming with the furniture unless it's staged and you negotiate it to have some of the furniture left behind, but for the most part when you're buying a home, it is just going to come with the kitchen and the bathroom. You're going to have to do everything else yourself. And for The Sims, I think this is a really fun concept because for me, it adds more realism in how your Sims go about house hunting and like purchasing properties. So this home is a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom family home. It is fully landscaped. There is a yard with a pool. The kitchen is complete. The floor plan is complete. And if your Sim wanted to, they can just move right in. The reason why I tend to like these kind of builds is because, of course, like I mentioned, the realism, but because it's almost like rags to riches, like you're working up to something and then your Sim finally has enough money to buy their home and you have to make more money to furnish the house, and you get to furnish it exactly to the Sim's taste without worrying about things like architecture or landscaping or floor plan. Because for me, that's not the fun part of building. The fun part of building is decorating, and I'm sure that there are lots of other people who feel the same way. Something else that I want to be intentional about adding into my save file is making sure there's at least a handful of lots that need renovation. So they're like older homes or homes where the home isn't fully like updated and renovated. Because if you have the Dream Home Decorator pack and you're playing the career, you're going to feel pretty guilty, or at least I feel pretty guilty when I'm playing in set save files. If you're going into a house and it's beautiful and there's really nothing for you to change. Obviously, there's no way for me to control which houses you get and which Sims request like a interior designer for Dream Home Decorator, but there will still be quite a few lots where there is something to decorate, where the entire house could use renovations, whether you want to play that on your own with your family, like renovating a rundown house, or if you actually are playing Dream Home Decorator and you want to be able to decorate. As I was building this, floor plan is not really my forte, and I made this a little bit more closed plan than I normally would. The reason being that for this kind of house where it's empty, floor plan can be difficult to navigate, and if I had an entirely open concept, then it's up to you as the player to decide where everything goes. And if you really just want to decorate, you don't want to think about floor plan, which is why it's more closed off. There are distinct spaces, right? So the fireplace, that's obviously the open living room area, and then I have this back room with the kitchen and that back corner with the big window facing the street. That's where I would imagine you could put a little dining area. I struggled to put in bathrooms because I was like, there should actually be a bathroom closer to the bedrooms as well, and not just one that's like between the living room and the kitchen. So I add one in later on. This kitchen was a struggle because I wanted to have a clean black and white like kitchen aesthetic, which definitely is possible, but where I struggled is we don't really have upper cabinets that match well. The Parenthood pack, obviously these cabinets do come with upper cabinets, but the upper cabinets are completely different color white and they have blue glass, and I'm like, that's not the vibe. I want completely black. So you'll see that I do struggle a little bit in the kitchen with what to do with the uppers, because it definitely needs uppers. So you can see that blue glass, and we don't have that many options for upper cabinets, which, can I just say, let me know what you think about this. Isn't that fucking annoying? If we're gonna get a pack with cabinets, it should come with the uppers and the lowers always. It should be a complete set. And you'll notice that I reuse the growing together tiles a lot because they have a matching floor tile. Isn't that a novel concept? Wouldn't it be great if we got matching floor tiles and wall tiles, matching cabinets, matching swatches? But perhaps that is too much to ask for. I did go ahead and put lighting over the island. It's a very small, like, I guess peninsula is what we would say, right? Because it's connected to the wall, just for additional like countertop space. I was going to add in a microwave and like a coffee maker, but I was like, no. You have freshly moved into the house. Odds are, unless it's a built-in microwave, which doesn't exist in The Sims 4, you're not going to have a microwave. So your sim is also responsible for purchasing a microwave. And you can see this where I put in the additional bathroom where I turned that back hallway. Just make the hallway a little bit smaller so that you could have a like wet room area for a shower and just like quicker access, so your sim doesn't have to walk across the entire house to go to the bathroom. But there is a full bathroom with a bathtub in this house as well. With the wallpaper, I just went super simple. Imagine that whoever is selling this house is just plain white walls. I played around with the idea of adding carpet into the bedroom, but I was like, nah, it's supposed to be a house that's been mostly renovated. It's not a starter. It's not super expensive either. It's like 56,000 or something like that. Something that your sim can very easily work to in their lifetime. But I did want to make it look more modern and renovated while still leaving plenty of room for you to go in and do whatever you want. Yes, this build is on the gallery. I played around also with adding a ladder so you can have access to that kind of dormer space in the roof. I just didn't like how that looked in the bedroom, but just so you know, if you did add a ladder into that bedroom and you wanted to have it be like a teen room where they also have like an upstairs gaming space, that is completely possible. I just visually did not like how that ladder looked, but you are more than welcome to add that in. And then I focus on the backyard. So I'm like, it's supposed to be a really nice space. I do use that tree from Cottage Living just because it's beautiful. Like, it has all the lanterns and it adds a lot of light, which is something that I'm always mindful of when building homes, is that the lot itself isn't pitch dark, that there definitely still is lighting if your sim were to be out there at night. And while I laid out a floor plan, and you are welcome to do whatever you want with those spaces, as I've mentioned, I do imagine that it is a 3-bed, 2-bath house. As I mentioned, the window that is facing that street in that little like pull out corner in the back to the left of the door is where the dining room would go, which is of course right next to the kitchen. There's a big open space. There's an ambulance passing by, so if you hear that, which hopefully you can't, please do ignore it, because the joys of living in New York City. But that back wall in the kitchen could be whatever you want. It could be like shelving if you want to put more shelving in there. It could be storage space. It could be a place where you put like kids activities. In my mind, I view it being a coffee bar. This big front porch area, I do imagine adding lots of seating. I so wish we had a porch swing in The Sims 4. That would have been a great item to come with the horse ranch pack, which this is totally random, but speaking of the horse ranch pack, if you have that pack, can you let me know how much fun you're having and how often you replay it? Just because I really want to know what to expect. In my mind, it doesn't have high replayability, but I don't own the pack and I haven't played it. So I'm going to ask you to be my reviewer and give me your review of the pack if you do have it. And then I also prioritize having a swimming pool, because again, it's supposed to be a home that's a little bit more higher end. The swimming pool has custom tile and like that glowing wallpaper to give the watercolor a more custom quote unquote look. And then it has this little middle section area where I imagine you could put a bar or a barbecue or even just some lounge chairs. And then landscaping. Landscaping took up so much of this build just because I wanted the home to feel complete. It really should feel like if you were house hunting and you saw this house and you're like, this is it, this is where I want to live. Everything is complete but the furniture. You can paint the walls, you can change the floorboards, you can furnish, all of that stuff. And because it is a family home in my mind, I do add in a lot of kids' toys or some outdoor kids' activities like the monkey bars and these swings by the back tree. And the final bits of this house is literally just terrain paint. I find that terrain paint can make a huge difference in just like how natural the lot looks and how realistic realistic it is, but we are coming to the end of the build. I think that's it. I explained the big parts of the floor plan because everything else is bedrooms. It could be offices. It can be whatever you want. Of course, I love adding a path, especially because we are in Willow Creek, and I'm giving all of the neighborhoods street names so that the addresses also feel more realistic. Like if my friend was like, come over to my house, and I was like, where do you live? And she's like, Daisy Hovel. I'd be like, what's the address, girl? What's the address? So all of these homes and places will have specific addresses. I believe I named this 9 Daisy Street, which means all of the other homes will be Daisy Street. So this is 9, the one next door will probably be 8, and then 10, like all of that stuff. And that's pretty much it. I hope that you enjoyed this build. Like I said, it is on the gallery if you do want to download it. Everything should be functional. And the only cheat that I used for this was bb.move objects on. I don't think anything else is unlockable. So I'm going to see you next time. Bye.